talk about how much Cheatham has developed over the last year or so, and how impressed were you with the performance he put on the other night?
Cheatham had a great performance this past game. Cheatham always been a playmaker for us. He played a lot his freshman year. He played safety. We used him in corner too also. But everybody knew the talent Cheatham had. He came in with a big name when he was in high school. But the sky's the limit for Cheatham. He's a great player. I'm happy to be out there playing when he made a couple great plays. They try to crack me a couple times this week because they know I'm on the box a lot, and he was there for the tackle. So that shows a lot about Cheatham and his resilience, and he's going to be a great player, and he's a good guy too outside football.
Can you talk about your guys' performance as a defense? This is the fewest points you guys gave up in almost a year since you guys played at Temple. What was it like for you guys coming into that game against BG?
We just took it, it's a rival game, so you can get hype. We could have went out there the first series. We could have been so into the rivalry and missed a couple of checks and stuff. We just played our game. We just got back to the basics. We just got back to fundamentals, tackling, communicating, and stuff like that. So to keep them under 15 points, it's always good because Bowling Green has a great offense. He went down there in Florida, gave them a game, and then put up 21 points against Idaho. Schultz is a good quarterback, and for us to keep him to 15 points in 4 quarters, you can't ask for much more.
Did you, when you're seeing Cheatham floating back and forth, did you see one position that you thought he was better at, that he was more skilled at?
Not really. Cheatham could play corner, safety, played nickel the first 2 games. It's better to be able to play corner and safety because if you know what the safety doing, you basically know what you're doing. So to know what's going on behind you and also know what you're doing at corner helps you out a lot. And I think that's good. That's what helped him even better. He knows what I'm doing, so he knows where he can, take a play here and there where he makes an opportunity, get an extra player, not because I'm behind him and stuff like that. So it's always good to play both positions, to know both positions. You should anyway at corner because it helps you out in the long run.
Going up to that game, what were some things you guys actually worked on defensively? Before the first 2 games, you gave up over 340 yards passing, and then I believe it was under 300 against BG. What were some things that you guys had worked on?
We just basically got back to fundamentals. Just cluing our drops. Our techniques and getting better at safety on their heads and tackling. Everybody's running 5, 4 receiver sets, so guys are gonna put up the numbers. It's just about keeping them out of the end zone. So if we keep them out of the end zone, they could have 700 yards. If they only put up 14 points for 700 yards, it really doesn't add up. We just got back to our tackling. We just got back to the things that you got to do as a defense. Running to the ball, and we really honed in on them this week, and that's why we came out with that win.
As a defensive player, do you rather face, especially as a defensive back, would you rather face a quarterback who's a dual threat or a guy who can stand in the pocket and put up yards on you guys? Because in the MAC, you kind of have a mix of both those guys. But this weekend, you're going to have a guy that's a dual threat.
The dual threat, he could provide a little bit more problems because he could get outside the pocket. When you get out, the quarterbacks get outside the pocket, the coverages kind of break down. If you got to worry about the receivers going back they're taught to come back to the quarterback, and then someone was taught to go break deep. So, we're going to have to we're going to have to work on just, standing in the zone, keeping everything in front of us, matching up routes, matching up receivers when he scramble, and then our D-line just got to keep him in the pocket. So, we've seen that the first 2 weeks, and, we also see it in practice with Austin and T.O., they could get outside the pocket. So, we stand in rush lanes, and then on the back end, we don't try to cheat, come up, and make underneath plays, then we should be okay.
With you being the veteran guy on defense, I want to ask you, what do you see as the difference between Campbell and Beckham?
Coach Campbell, he's more involved in everything. We might be doing safety drills, and he comes out of nowhere and jumps into drills. He's a little bit more involved. He lets our defensive coaches do their thing. He really doesn't bother with the defense as much, but he's more like a motivator. Just come over to the sideline, tell us we're going to stop him. Write your story and stuff like that. He's a great guy. He's young. He's enthusiastic. He's fun to play with. He's more positive than negative. You really have to worry about coming to the side. Like, as a player, you don't come to the sideline and hear anything as far as your head coach jumping down on you. I mean, he just says next play. He just gives a great motivation. He's just a great guy overall.
Anything else for Jermaine? Okay, thanks a lot.